Family members or something coming in, just telling me that, telling all of us that he had to work hard to get tickets for the game.
So hopefully that means he'll play at a high level again. So excited about that. But no, he has a lot of family in the area, and I expect him to play well.
Darnell talked about watching these guys on film and the way they run their offense.
Yeah, they do a good job of executing their plays, run different options. They go through the shooting guard. He does a good job of scoring the ball. And early, that 2 and 3 men are probably the most, I wouldn't necessarily say talented, but those are the guys they go through. So you have to be locked in on their big guys, are physical guys, and they'll throw it down to them. They're very physical, they're strong, they get put back, so they go through their 1, 2, and 3 for the most part.
How much different a team were they from when you played them to the Final Four run that they made?
I thought they were a talented team. I think just going through the league and having success, and then once you get in the tournament setting, sometimes teams fall off that expected to win. All of a sudden you get some momentum, you're rolling, you got your head up, and they're a good ball club. I just think people probably took for granted that they were in the Missouri Valley, but a very talented team, as you can see.
How much better are they now going in to face them because they went through that tournament run than the team you faced last year?
Well, I think they're still a talented team. I think the separation is the confidence, the level of confidence you play with. They'll play at a high level because Tennessee's coming to town and because they're a good team. So we expect for it to be a great game, a great atmosphere. But I think the tournament run really helped them mentally more than physically.
How fun is it for you as a coach? I was asking the players how fun it is to play in a game where the team is highly ranked and you're on the road in a great atmosphere, and you know, are you overhyped when you go into a game like that?
Well, I don't know if that's the case. I just think each individual prepare for a game his own way. And I know as a player, I love to play in a road atmosphere regardless of whether the team is ranked or not. Just going into somebody's house and having an opportunity to win a game says a lot about your program, especially a team of this caliber, a team that plays hard, a team that's a physical team, not just a team on style. They have a lot of substance and they play a physical game.
When you see them, what similarities do you see with your own team?
I think both teams rebound at a high level. I think the difference is they'll sit in almost 5 guys sometimes to the offensive glass, especially if Baker's at the point guard position. So you really have to box out. All 5 guys have to box. Just can't be 3 guys for us. All 5 have to put a body on somebody. But then there are also opportunities to run in transition when it happens.
What could had a couple chances to get kind of the quality non-conference win that slipped away. A win like this Saturday, what could it mean for you in March potentially?
First and foremost, you beat a talented team. I think that's what it says more than anything. But because everything is gauged on RPIs and that sort of thing, it'll be a good win. But again, one game, we win it, we keep moving.
Jarnell's sort of in that zone again. Obviously, he's a primary look-to or go-to guy down low. Is that the primary focus, or do you have the other guys have to be aware that if there's nothing working down there, or he's double-teamed, or whatever happens, that they got to be ready to? How do you kind of keep that flow through the whole offense as opposed to just one guy?
Well, you run your offense. He's a part of your offense. Jordan McCray, Jerome, and you kind of go through those guys. You run different actions for different guys. But that's where your offense kind of flows through those 3 guys. He just played from there. The biggest key with Jordan, I just think, staying out of foul trouble more than anything. Whether he's scoring the ball or not, they double team him or not, that's fine. But if he's rebounding the ball, he's defending, he's playing hard, that's fine.
Using pads and brooms and some other things in practice, what exactly are you trying to convey to your team?
Well, what we do with those guys, pads, just the bumps. Just get a feel for the bumps in games where you're dribbling the ball, making plays. But the pads and the brooms are when guys going over taller guys. In Jordan's case, getting better going over 7-foot guys that block shots. Or not necessarily, they might not be great shot blockers, but they have length and size. Getting used to that. And that's why we use the pads and the brooms.
I imagine when you played at Wichita State or coached over there, you all played in Coke Arena, not in the new one downtown. But what do you remember about kind of the atmosphere there, those fans? I mean, they put up great attendance numbers every year, and they seem to really care about the game over there.
I think it's one of the best. Obviously, I haven't been in every gym in America, but I think it's one of the best in the country, regardless of what level, what league. The fan support. I remember Greg's first 3 years. They struggled getting it off the ground, but they stayed packed. It was a packed house every year. So it just says a lot about their program and their fan base. But yeah, they say this one will be much more intense. I guess 5,000 more fans, so the more the better.
As someone who's coached in that league, I mean, obviously your guys played Wichita last year, had a good fight with them here, and then saw them go to the Final Four. But overall, kind of, with that league, do you think the guys understand how high a quality of play there is in that league? Because, I mean, you talk about SEC guys, maybe they don't know as much about the Valley. Maybe someone like Joshua because he's from there. But do you think?
Well, I think they understand now. Just going through last year, playing against them in the Southern Run, then also actually watching those guys on film, watching the growth of Ryan Baker, sophomore guard that plays well. There's no doubt in my mind he'll play at the next level, just the way he plays, competes, shoots the ball, handles the ball. And earlier was a guy that's highly talented, 6'8" wing guy. So they have the pieces, and they got our guys full attention. Our guys will be ready to go.
With Jarnell, what's kind of been the reason that he's been able to kind of produce like he has? And does he even need to step it up even more? Playing a team that's probably going to be keen on him and a team that's as talented as they are.
Well, I think when you are who they say you are, when you carry a reputation, there's a certain way you have to play anyway. And that's how guys become great players. That's the difference between good and great, in my opinion. That's been going on for years. The great ones separate themselves from the competition. They play at their best on the major stage. So we'll see.
He said he's leaving points and rebounds out there still. Is this game, can it be elevated to an even higher level, I guess?
I definitely think that, but you got to do it. I mean, that's the bottom line. If you're leaving out there, then go get it. If you know you're leaving out there, you make the corrections. And one thing he does, he spends a lot of time in watching film. So now, go get it and don't leave it out there.
What do you think he needs to do better?
I think he's done a better job making his free throws. I think he needs to do a better job in defensive rebounding. And I think there's opportunities around the rim he has to continue to capitalize on. I still think there's some layups and some close shots he can make around the rim. So, I mean, obviously there's plenty of room to grow.
Earlier this week, I think Greg Marshall said, they usually like to kind of try to out-physical teams and beat up on teams, but they're not going to be able to do that necessarily in this game because, y'all are so kind of big and physical. Is that sort of what you like to hear? Sort of, you feel like when you say tougher breed, I mean, you feel like the guys are buying in when you've got other coaches saying things like that?
Well, I think it's one buying in. It's also got to be who you are, but also in recruiting, you got to get guys that play at that level. And I think in playing Greg at Missouri State, they always been a physical team. They rebound. They have a lot of size for that level, and that's how they impose a will on teams at that level. So you got to be physical enough to compete against them. I think that's half the battle. They do a good job in executing what they do, but if you're not physical enough, it'll be a long night for you.
But that when you built it kind of the way you want to hear, that's kind of what you'd like to hear other coaches say, right? I mean, whether we beat or lose to those guys, it's going to be a fight regardless.
Well, you got to be tough enough, and that's the thing we talk about, to give yourself a chance to win games, especially going into a hostile environment. You got to be tough enough. You have to be physical enough, and then you have to play basketball, and that's how we try to look at it. And if we do that, I think we'll be fine. We have the pieces to be successful. Now it's going to playing a physical brand without fouling.
Coach, I know you're going to change up what you do, but because they're so good in half-court defense, do you look to maybe get out a little bit more this week and take out easy baskets where you can? Do you stress that some?
We do. We get out and run, but we also got to make them defend. We make them defend in the half court because they hadn't played Tennessee yet. They're a very talented team. They hadn't played Tennessee, so we make them defend in the half court. We make their big guys guard. We make their guards chase off screens. Then we'll see what happens.
And it seems like he plays a lot of guys. He's not shy about running. I mean, what does their depth do? I mean, how can that kind of take a toll on you? Because they don't really get up and down the floor.
Well, I think anything with depth, and I say it here, when you have depth, they have to be able to play. I mean, you can put bodies in, but they're not productive, and what does it really matter? So that's the biggest key. We got depth, and they're producing, and it's a good thing. So for us, it's just we play the way we play. We execute. Sometimes when you have depth out there on the floor, you know how your key guys on the floor, they give us a chance to get momentum and roll.
And it's been more